Well, a great solid victory by the Tigers today. It was really just an outstanding performance in every phase. Poche set the tone. I mean, he pitched around some trouble there in the first inning. First batter hit a ball that typically Sean would catch, and I think the key in that inning was that Jared limited the damage. He only gave up the 1 run, and then we come back right away. Laird hustles the ball into second base, and then you can say what you want about Bregman hitting the ball as hard as any human being can hit a ball 4 times. But probably the most impressive at bat was the first inning when he just hit a ground ball to the second baseman unselfishly to move the runner to third, and then Chiney hits a ground ball to bring him home, and right away we tie it back up. So it was just one of those days where we swung the bats great again. We had, I think, 1 error later on in the game, but overall we played really good defense, a lot of hustle plays. Ibarra made a tremendous play. And Poche, I thought, just settled in and just pitched a magnificent game. So good way to start the tournament, beating an outstanding ball club like Vanderbilt.
We'll go ahead and open the floor for questions for the student athletes. We do have a couple mics, so if you'll raise your hand, we'll get a mic to you. We'll start here, second row.
This is for Alex. Last time you guys faced Miller, you had 2 hits and you went over 4. I guess looking back at that scouting report and looking back to today, what was different for you guys, and did you kind of see some adjustments that you were able to make?
I think we came in with the approach of just trying to get on base and put together quality at bats. I think we let the ball travel a lot more than we did the first time. I know for myself, I was out on my front foot against him the last game. He was changing speeds. My first at bat just tried to hit a ground ball the other way, but other than that, I think everybody else on the team just stuck with the approach of letting it travel and trying to hit good pitches. I think we got ourselves in trouble a little bit last time we faced him, not hitting good pitches. So, yeah.
Other questions for the student athletes? And guys, if we could get you all just to pull up to your mic, just a little closer, that would help. Thank you. We'll go to the center room. Actually, there's 2 side by side. We'll take both of those.
Alex, all right, you said you've been making adjustments as the season is going on, and lately those adjustments seem to be kind of paying off. What have you been doing in particular to kind of find that stroke?
Well, today was all because of my teammates, honestly. They were on base in front of me, and allowed me to do what I need, just simplify and do a job. I feel like when they're on base, I'm more comfortable up there, and was fortunate to put a few good swings on it today, and just starting to see it better.
Okay, we'll take one on the right, standing.
Jared, did you make any adjustments after the first inning?
Yeah, I made a few adjustments. I was struggling locating my changeup in the first couple innings, curveball, and fastball, pretty much all my pitches, and I was just able to just kind of critique a few things. AD told me a few things after the first inning, and it paid off.
What did AD tell you in the middle of that first and between the first and second?
Just to kind of relax and just kind of slow the game down. Just kind of sit back on the rubber a little longer and just trust my stuff.
Other questions for the LSU student athletes in the back? In the middle, second row, go ahead.
Jared, you were very aggressive today, and obviously your defense did a lot of great work behind you. In this park especially, what does that mean when you have guys out there making plays like Ibarra and Connor and other guys did today?
I mean, they've been doing it all year for me, so it's nothing different. They've been making plays behind me the entire year. Just give me a lot of confidence to go out there and, like I said, just throw the ball over the plate and let the guys get themselves out.
We'll take 1 or 2 more for the student athletes. Right side.
Jared, maybe your biggest start of your career. I mean, how nervous were you, and how did you handle for the last 30 minutes before the game?
I wasn't really nervous. I don't think I've ever been nervous for the baseball. Just kind of one of those things that excite me. Helps me to bring my game up to another level, and just to go out there and just try to go out there and compete and just do whatever I can and let the team win.
Is there a final question for the student athletes?
Can somebody ask Connor Hale a question?
Yeah. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Good call, Coach. Let's get a mic over to you. Question for Connor.
Connor, I've asked you about this before, but a couple more doubles today. The doubles have been coming on a a lot lately. Is that still all just you credit that to the change in your stance, or is there something else behind it?
Yeah, I feel like most of it is from my stance. I tweaked it just a little bit. I opened up a little bit, my front foot, and I feel like it's making me being able to see the ball better, and it's working really good for me right now.
Okay, thanks, guys. You guys are welcome to head back to your locker room. Let's start here, second row.
Paul, the same question I asked your guys. How key was it to get that run back right away, and not just get it, but instead of a bunch of hits, to manufacture to kind of break the field a little bit?
Well, you know, Kendall referred back to the game against Miller when we played earlier this year. You know, he only struck out, I think, 2 batters that whole game against us, and we hit an awful lot of balls hard. But their infielders, I remember, must have made a half a dozen diving plays on the artificial turf, and Jared gave up a big inning early, and we got into a hole, and we just couldn't, you know, advance runners, and we had to try to slug our way back into the game, and we hit balls hard. They hit some balls hard today too, but you see when they're in the hole, the balls just seem to go right at people, and they can't, you know, stealing bases is a big part of their game. They couldn't do that. And that's kind of what happened to us when we played against him way back when. So when we gave up that first run, I was a little bit concerned that if we got into a hole again, the same kind of game might develop. So getting that run right away, Randy, I thought was huge. And, you know, just like Jared called it, getting back to like it was 0-0, starting the game over again, I thought was really important for us. And, you know, after that, we were able to, you know, string some things together, get a couple of runs, get a little bit of a lead against Miller. And, you know, it just had a different feel to the game because of, you know, being ahead as opposed to being behind the whole game.
Other questions for Coach Mainieri? Left side in the back. Go ahead.
Coach, I know you can't predict the future, but when you're fighting for maybe a host regional site and maybe against Vanderbilt, how big is a win like this?
Well, it certainly can't hurt, Brian. I don't know. You know, I'm not privy to those conversations in the selection committee's meetings, and you know, I like our resume. I mean, we're the 3rd best team in the SEC by over a 30-game schedule. You know, I know it's just percentage points, as Kendall so adequately described in his column. It was just percentage points ahead of Vanderbilt, but Ole Miss is just percentage points ahead of us. So, you know, it works both ways. You know, the bottom line is you play 30 games to figure out the final standings, and we finished 3rd. So I'm not saying we deserve a host site over any team in this tournament. I think we all deserve them, to be honest with you. I think the SEC should get 5 host sites, and I think we proved, you know, today and over the course of a long season, we got a pretty good ball club that's deserving. Anytime you win 40 games in a regular season, that's a pretty good year. And you know, if we can, you know, make a good showing here, then hopefully the committee will take that into consideration as well.
We'll take 1 or 2 more. Go ahead. Is there a final question? Let's take it in the back.
Jacques Doucet.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? Maybe splitting hairs, but how did you calculate the lineup today with Tyler and Jake and the lefty?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I was surprised nobody's asked me that yet. You know, we were figuring Beatty was going to start, and you know, then I wasn't terribly surprised. You know, Jake Fraley and Tyler Moore have been 2 of our hottest hitters, and they're both left-handed bats, and I think he sees it when other teams start left-handers. I put Chinea in there and Danny Zardone. So, you know, it would make sense. And Miller pitched a great game against us earlier in the year. So, you know, I just, you know, went with what we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. And, you know, Chinea and Zardone really didn't factor in, although Chinea put the ball in play and scored the run in the first inning. So I guess he did factor in. But, you know, I just feel like we've got, you know, 11 or 12 starting players, and so they're a little bit interchangeable, and, you know, you just try to pick the right situations to let them have the best chance to be successful in it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.